Hello and welcome once again to Warcraft Alliance and Horde. I nearly said Warcraft 3 there. Anyway, here we are with the Horde, and we have the Horde structures all scrambled around here in some vague formation. We have, instead of a town hall, we have a great hall, which is upgraded to a stronghold and ultimately a fortress, which is what it is in this particular situation. You also have your barracks, where you train all of your ground-based melee sort of units. You have your spirit lodge, where you get your casters. You have your troll tavern, where you get your heroes. You can build towers a lot smaller than the Alliance versions, which are able to cluster up close together. And you have your altar of storms, in addition to troll burrows, or well, they used to be called troll burrows, now they're just burrows. So the last unit, building would be the Goblin Lab. Onto the units. Basic units, if we can just get this big fat Windrider out of the way. You start with, from your barracks, 2 types of units. Now I have 4 lined up here because they are quite special types of unit. You have your basic grunts, these 2 dudes here. However, they have an interchangeable battle stance and defensive stance. This one with the 2-hand axe is in battle stance. This one is in defensive stance with his shield, and you can switch these up at any time you wish. In battle stance, he has charge, charges to the enemy. He also has recklessness, which is a questionable upgrade. It's 100% crit chance is amazing, but 100% damage taken, I don't know. Bit hard to use efficiently. And they can always do this tank unit ability, which is 30% chance to parry melee and ranged attacks, 50% damage taken when you successfully parry, 10% chance to dodge melee ranged and magic attacks, and you fully negate the damage when you do so. In defensive stance, the grunt has heroic throw, and this deals some damage to an enemy, knocks off some armour, god damn my scroll speeds, and 50% chance to knock down the non-hero target for a little bit of an interrupt crowd control kind of thing.
The dark times will pass.
You also have Silver Moon Rangers. Again, these come in 2 different forms. They come out as standard in this form, which is with a bow. They have Steady Shot, which generates mana, and then they can spend their mana on Explosive Shot for a small AoE. You can also switch them to glaives. When they have glaives, they have Shadow Dance, which is a blink. Look at that. How fancy.
Remember the sun.
And they can also upgrade Mutilate in the barracks, which does a nice amount of damage and silences the target for 3 seconds. And you can use bow like this and switch in between the 2 forms, just like with the grunts. Onto the tier 1 caster would be the Holy Paladin. Now this chick, she is your healer, and she is awesome at doing it because she has a Flash of Light, which is actually a shorter cast time than the Alliance version, although it is a smaller heal. She also has Divine Plea, so she never really goes out of mana. And she can upgrade Blessing of Might, which is a massive 30% damage buff for 30 seconds, which is incredible. Once you have your stronghold, actually no, it's not, you just need a barracks to get access to Spirit Lodge. You can get this Paladin. When you get a stronghold upgrade, you unlock tier 2. Now tier 2 out of the barracks consists of a Wolf Rider. Your Orc will ride around on his wolf, and he is very good at taking on Fortified in Warcraft 3. However, here he does quite nice damage against everything, and he's very fast because he's on a wolf. He has Ensnare by default. This can root things in place, and they cannot not attack or move for 5 seconds. Pretty awesome. And the Wind Rider, which was in my way earlier, is now... I'll bring him over here. He is also one of your tier 2 units, and he has the Wyvern Sting, which gives a slow. So he is your air riding dude, and he has the same damage against both air and ground. The Wolf Rider actually has an upgrade for Battle Shout, which is a bit like Recklessness. It actually gives him 50% attack for 15 seconds, but then a debuff of minus 25% attack. So that's quite good for doing hit and run kind of attacks. A bit more versatile, and you can really make use of the speed with that. Tier 2 casters.
I am forsaken.
A Forsaken Shadow Priest. She has quite okay damage, and she also has a spell damage, which is Mind Flare. 20 damage per second and slows their movement speed. She also has Psychic Scream like the Priest on the Alliance side, but she also has Shadow Wear Death, which is an instant 30 damage, but if the target is below 20% of its maximum HP, it dies instantly. So Shadow Priests are very good for destroying things.
Yes,
Elemental Shaman. These guys are frequently surrounded by their lightning shields because it has no mana cost. If anybody attacks them while they have this lightning shield up, they are stunned for 3 seconds. Very dangerous to attack a shaman. Chain Lightning. Hurls a lightning bolt at the enemy, dealing 35 damage and jump into additional nearby enemies. Each jump reduces the damage by 3, and it can affect a total of 3 targets. If I just go down to my Spirit Lodge, it says here you can learn the Flame Shock ability. I do not believe this is correct. I think this is a tooltip from the old version of the game. Because grayed out is Elemental Mastery. Chain Lightning and Magic Attack deal plus 20% damage. And I assume that his Magic Attack is included in his regular attack when he's out of mana, so he can't use Chain Lightning. When we hear Job Complete or something to that extent, we shall be able to check that out. If I just quickly look at his actual damage, 35. Restoration Shaman actually does damage as well. He's a bit of a strange character really, because he has Air Shield, heals 20% of the normal damage taken when attacked by normal piercing or magic attacks, and he can cast this on other people, so now this guy's got lots of spinny things around him. He has a Water Shield, so when anything attacks him, he expends 1 charge of that and generates 35 mana. So if he is actually under a lot of focus fire, he can actually get a lot of these Earth Shields out. Now we had Research Complete, we can just check this out, and now this is active, and you can see these now have +7 to all of those, and this seems to just still do 35 damage. But it's a worthwhile upgrade, I guess. It might actually affect the Chain Lightning too. Might just need some clarification. The Troll Shaman also has Earth Grab Totem, which summons roots and roots people in place for 5 seconds. Once you have your stronghold, you are able to build a blacksmith. Sorry, Goblin Lab. That's the Alliance version of the blacksmith. Here you can get similar upgrades just like the other races, and you can build a demolisher. Demolishers are these lovely little buildings. I don't even know anymore. 2 armor, 3.5 movement speed, and they have siege attack. And I don't really know what that does. I guess you just attack with it. But it's on auto cast, and it has ram. This can knock down targets, just like that. And it's immune to all crowd control. High damage to structures. It doesn't actually have a normal attack like the siege tank does, so you have to get up close and personal to be able to use this unit. Once you have your fortress, your tier 3 unit of choice thing, you are able to build an Altar of Storms. Once you have the Altar of Storms, you are able to get yourself an Ogre Mage. These 2-headed casters have a lot of health, a lot of mana if you get the upgrade for them. They have Bloodlust, increases everybody's attack by 30%. Look at the range on that, so damn good. And they have Firebolt, 200 damage and knocks down non-hero units, costs 75 mana with a 5-second cast time. So he has a massive amount of burst, but you can't use it terribly often due to the high mana cost. When he is out of mana, he has these attacks. 50 damage, and it can be a lot more versus heavy, with a weapon speed of 2. Your other tier 3 units are the Enhancement Shaman. Now the Enhancement Shaman has got a fuck ton of health, 3 armor, lots of damage, and he has weapon enhancements. Now these are permanent, or at least they used to be. It may have changed. You can use a Flamesome weapon, deal additional 10 damage to target in front of the unit. So I think this just means the target is attacking. I don't think it means a clonal AoE. Frostbrand weapon. Frostbrand freezes enemy target in front for 2 seconds. I don't know if that interrupts spellcasting or acts as a stun. It may do either. And you can get Wind Fury, which is 20% crit. So once you are happy with which particular choice you want to make, you select them and that is your choice finished. You cannot get them again. So something to be aware of. And the last unit of tier 3 is a Tauren Paladin on a Todo. Now this guy has reasonable damage and a range of 8. He's actually a caster. He has lots of armour and he is quite slow. He also has a regeneration or a +5 regeneration to all friendly units within 15 yards. So this guy acts as like a nice healing buffer for your team, as well as being on the front lines, and due to his huge size, people are going to have a hard time getting past him, and he'll probably be the first target for air moves. So coupled with his high defense, massive size, life regeneration, he's good to have on the front lines. And it is night time. Upgrades. Blessing of Night, that's the 30% damage. Shadow Word Death is activated by Twist of Fate. The Earth Grab Totem, which I spoke about earlier, as well as Speed of Light, which makes the Sunwalkers not so fat and slow. Over in the barracks, we have Recklessness, which actually gives Thunderclap on defensive stance. I did not know that, so let's go over to our Grunt in battle defensive stance. Thunderclap deals 15 damage to all enemy ground targets around, makes them do 15% less damage and move 30% slower excuse me, for 5 seconds. Mutilate and Explosive Shot are activated by getting yourself a Silver Moon symbol. Frostwolf Clan gives them the Battle Shout. Wyvern Sting is the slow effect. And Enhancement Shamans get access to their Wind Fury weapons by buying Enhanced Enhancement Shaman. Over in the Altar of Storms, last but not least, we have Seal of Fire, which gives the Molten Armour ability to our Ogre Mages. Molten Armour does this effect: minus 100% armour, making him very vulnerable, but increases his maximum mana by 50, and adds 2 mana regeneration for 60 seconds. With a cooldown of 60 seconds, so this can actually be active constantly and gives the mana pool a nice boost so that the Ogre Mage can fire off 2 firebolts and regenerate his mana a lot faster, thereby doing more DPS. Great stuff. So that is the Horde units, and yeah. Oh, I'll just insert a picture and a brief explanation of the tech tree as well. Here is the tech tree for actually all races, which I have described in the text. So, for the Horde, you can see here will be a Great Hall instead of a Town Hall. This will be a Stronghold instead of a Keep, and this here will be a Fortress instead of a Castle. The tech tree sort of direction is exactly the same, so this would be your Troll Tavern, this would be your Burrow. Your Barracks unlock your Spirit Lodge instead of an Arcane Sanctum, and your Watchtower. Your Keep unlocks your Goblin Lab, and your Castle will unlock, well, sorry, not Keep, Fortress will unlock your Altar of Storms. I could have redone the pictures, but it took a while to just cut and paste this mess together. So that is a brief look at the tech tree direction for this game. Thank you for watching the Horde video, and goodbye. I hope to see you in future videos where I will describe the heroes, the units and all that good stuff for all the remaining races. So, goodbye for now.
Research complete.